Got it.
There's Gina.
Oh, sick. I can close that. Nice.
Thanks,
Now I know for
Gina.
the
You're a
show.
peach.
Well, boys, I know this much. I got some things I can talk about that I've been trying from work, and I'm digging them. So
I
that's
just
pretty
went
cool.
and picked up a bunch of new stuff too.
Well, shit, let's talk about some new things. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, Shedtime podcast in 3, 2, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Shedtime. What is Shedtime, you ask? Well, it's code for the consumption of cannabis, but it's much more than that. Shedtime's a state of mind. It's art, it's music, it's cryptocurrency, technology, it's food, it's vaping. It can be whatever you want it to be, as long as you're not letting the bastards get you down, not being a dick, and making it fun. When you're in the shed, it's whatever your mind allows you to create. So now let's get to the Shedtime podcast.
All right, welcome back, everybody. And it is another wonderful day at the shed. And you know why it's wonderful? Because as you heard in the intro, new things, new stuff. We like new stuff. And I'm going to crack into something new right now. It's very unusual for me to be excited about edibles, but right here, I've got a cinnamon apple cider that's infused. And these have been really nice. It's just a little boost to what I'm already doing. They're definitely, for someone like me, they're definitely not the most potent. It's almost like drinking a light beer. It's like if
That's
I
all
just
right.
yeah, like if I drink one with, complete sober, that whole situation, baseline. If I drink one, it's just this like very, very gentle little buzz. But I really feel like if I drank like 4 or 6 of them, I might actually get a little bit of a serious high on. But otherwise, they taste amazing.
Yeah, I'd
I'd say
probably
that
end up
that's
drinking
good.
like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, it's almost like drinking the cinnamon Angry Orchard. So like it's just a nice cinnamon apple cider, and then you get that added benefit of some weed in there. So I'm definitely digging that. And I've been actually trying the new PAX rosin pods. So PAX officially is doing their own production. So they're acquiring materials from cultivators in all the legal states and then creating rosin pods from that. And they do the job.
I believe that. I mean, this is the thing, right? As like we go further and further along, I'm excited about all the different shit we're gonna have. We're gonna have so much different cool shit. We're gonna have like so much stuff that doesn't work and then ends up working. We're gonna have like so much variety, like you said, right? Like when you first started getting shit, you didn't get that option that you just said, like where there'd be like a massive company getting stuff from like cultivators. I was like, they'd have one source and like it would be just like, hey, here you go. That's what you get. And like now there'll be like more and more shit. Even with those drinks, like you said, right? You might have one drink and you're like, oh, that's not bad. And it might take that edge off and it might be good. You'd have 3 or 4 and all of a sudden you could be feeling pretty good. I'm sure that those like products are only going to get better tasting and more plentiful. It's kind of exciting. I mean, I guess it's also different state to state. Like the level of like those drinks that James could get might be different than the level of drinks that you can
Yeah,
get
I think they
versus
were
like the
doing
one that
100
I can get.
milligram ones at my shop, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't
which
know.
that
I was
that's like
looking.
you're skipping like a bunch of steps. Like you're gonna
I
get
was
fucking feeling
looking
pretty good.
today. I might be wrong about that. Don't quote me.
Well, so the thing with like at least regs here in Mass, and I'm sure there's some similarity in California regs, is that like there's an issue with serving sizes, right? Like there has to be a limit in the rec side on like what a serving size is. And as far as that goes, that creates a slight challenge because you either have to have a drink mix to make it stronger, or a prepared beverage in my state has to be 5 milligrams. Like that's one serving. So like the one can is 5 milligrams, and I mean that's fine. I'm not gonna
Can you get, like,
dog
really
I
that.
might
small
have been
cans
looking
for
at
still
like a
5?
syrup of some sort, to be honest with you.
Um,
Because
there
that's like a
are
pretty sizable can. So like, can you get like a much smaller can that's still 5?
this is only a 12-ounce can.
Yeah, but that's like pretty good size. Like,
That's the same size as any other soda can.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. Like drinking 4 or 5 soda can size drinks to get like some elevated. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm thinking
If
like, you know how like
if you
you
were to
get the
buy a
cold
6-pack of
shots.
beer, your 6-pack of beer would be 6 12-ounce cans, and
No. Okay,
that's
yeah,
why I
yeah,
said
yeah.
that's the way I'm looking at it, right? Like
I
you're
know. I'm
still
just looking at
consuming
it
the
how
same
like,
amount of liquid.
if that's the amount that you're allowed, right? As in 5 milligrams, like it'd be cool if they made, I guess they'd be like potent if there was 5 milligrams in a can half the size, like a 6-ounce can.
Oh, like there has
You
like
know,
somebody
like
made
those
a
little mini cans you can get like with Coke or Sprite or whatever. They're like kind of
well,
like bar mixers.
somebody literally made a shot, a 5 milligram shot. It was
Okay, that's
terrible.
cool.
It was meant to be like a 5-hour energy, so
Yeah.
it was equally as bitter and awful as a 5-hour energy tastes. But but like it's been done. I think like the real benefit is like the drink mix, right? Like a syrup or something like that, where you can pour it into something else
Oh,
because
like
now
where you can get like the Crystal Light fucking squeezable things or
yeah,
whatever.
because like Select brand, who is available around most of the country, um, they make like the squeeze, and it's almost like a Mio pod. So if you do one dose, that's only 5 milligrams. But if you do 2 doses, well, you're going to double up, and so on and so forth. Um, and so at that rate, you kind of get a chance to control it more. And then like there's Levia brand doing water soluble tinctures. A couple other companies are doing them too. In which case, you're literally any drink you have, you can just put the as much of that tincture as you want in. And like the Levia brand one, this specifically, I know is 300 milligrams. So
That's cool. That means you can basically like mix yourself like a Ryan Coke and just add that, get crossfaded.
yeah,
Let's
if that's your thing, man.
go.
I know
Dude, who doesn't like getting crossfaded? That's like the funnest shit.
some people don't, man. Some
Really?
people don't. Some people it has to be one or the other.
Oh yeah, I was never that guy. I was always like, give me both. Like there
I
was never. I had friends that like would get the points. They'd be like, oh, you know, once I've had this many drinks, like I can't like smoke weed. Meanwhile, I'd be like, yo, I want to have that many drinks, then smoke weed, because then I'm really fucked. Like, let's go. Like that would be like my whole mindset.
see like I want to smoke while I drink. I can't like be from sober, start drinking, be drunk, and then start smoking weed. That's gonna just get me the spins and make me sick. I don't want that. But if I do like
Okay. I say I would never get the spins or get sick.
if I do like I always do, which is like, I come home from work, I start smoking some weed, and then I grab a beer and I start drinking a beer, and then I'm smoking more weed and I'm still drinking. I can maintain like that all night. And I'm great. But yeah, I can't just go hard into the alcohol and then start smoking weed.
Yeah, because like I never subscribed to the theory of like, you know, like the bicker or beer before liquor, never sicker, liquor before beer, you're in the clear, you know, those things. Like, dude, I could fucking go back and forth like the whole night. I could have a beer, then a fucking rum and coke, then I could have a beer, then I could have a vodka tonic.
I
And I
think
could
that
whatever.
I think that rule does apply in a sense of like when I was younger, right? And we did live by that kind of a notion. We did not drink responsibly. We were like, oh, I'm gonna pound this beer in 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna pound this rum and coke in 5, and then I'm gonna pound another beer in 10 minutes. And then in an hour, we've put down 5 or 6 drinks. That is where I think that rule really did come in handy.
Yeah, but like that's the thing that if you're for me, if I was going hard regardless, like I was gonna throw up. Like it didn't matter what I was drinking. If I was just gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna fucking drink 20 beers tonight, like I was gonna probably puke. If I was like, oh, I'm just gonna drink this 26er in like fucking an hour and a half, like I'm probably gonna puke. Like it wouldn't matter what I was mixing in otherwise. Like I was just going too hard. And there's obviously, it's like anything, right? For with cannabis or with alcohol, like you can be in certain mindsets and you can like have certain levels of energy where some of those things don't affect you as hard. Like everything's just like going good, everything's fucking just that perfect vibe, and you can kind of like have that extra beer and not feel rough, or like you can fucking smoke that extra bong and not feel like you're gonna green out or whatever. And then there'd be other nights where like you're treating it like the perfect scenario and it's not perfect for you that day, and that's when you throw up because you're like, oh, last time I went out I fucking drank 12 beers and like had a Mickey vodka and I was fine. And then the next time you go out and like you end up throwing up all over yourself because that was too much.
Yeah, going hard at the party is a thing, man. Like you could definitely get carried away.
Oh, I have plenty of times, man. That's why I don't really drink that much anymore.
But I wonder what it would be like to like drink a bunch of those cans. Like now that
Yeah,
we've
I'm
talked
curious
about it, like I
to
wonder if I drank like a dozen of those cans, would I just be fucking wrecked or what?
You're right. That is strangely an experiment I want to try at some point. Is like,
playing some beer pong with that shit instead of beer. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Yeah, just pretend like you're drinking beers to see how fucked up you
just
get.
drop a fucking $100 at the dispensary, get a fucking whole like that's the crazy thing.
How much does that can cost?
This is a $7 can before tax.
Ooh,
And with 20% tax in Massachusetts, that's what, 920, I think.
940. 940. That's
So,
crazy.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's per
$10.
can.
It's $10.
Yeah. So I mean, 10 of them would be about $100.
Yeah.
So like that's pretty wild. I mean, obviously I get a
That's
discount
steep.
for buying it from work. But yeah, for a regular consumer, you're talking about $10 a can. But it is kind of an experiment I want to try at some point where like I just kind of want to not vape, no other consumption, come in completely dry sober,
And just see what happens.
and then just like try to pound a bunch of these things. Cause like the company that distributes this has a blueberry lemonade, which is kind of almost like a blueberry Sprite, in my opinion. Because it's like a sparkling lemonade. So like it definitely hits me more like a Sprite. But then there's also a orange soda and a root beer, and then like a series of mocktails. And so I've tried all of them but the mocktails. And they're all really good. Like that fucking orange soda is a bang on traditional orange soda. You wouldn't know the difference.
That's cool.
Like,
well, I don't really like the idea of seltzers, but like soda, sure. Like if I could just drink like some
Or
pop
like
that
a
gets me
tea or
fucked
a
up,
lemonade.
that's cool.
well, that's my whole thing, right? Like on the gray market, as we'll call it, we have those like 120 milligram lemonades. I know I've had them here on the show. And you can get pretty spun on those. And I mean, part of that is because like for me, the edibles don't really hit me due to the whole liver chemistry thing. But with beverage,
They do.
it's absorbing through your stomach lining. You're not going through the liver.
So it's different.
So exactly. So you're getting the absorption of the beverage, and it's also quicker. Right, because it doesn't have to go through that breakdown in the liver. What you're getting is about a 20-minute onset before you start to feel it. So like for me, it's very easy to use like beer as a way to explain it to somebody. Like it's like drinking like an Angry Orchard. Like this tastes like an Angry Orchard to me. And if I drank, one Angry Orchard with dinner, I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not really intoxicated by any level. I'm chilled. But if I drink 2 or 3 of them, I'm going to start to catch a nice buzz. And if I put down the whole 6-pack, I'm definitely going to have a good buzz on. And I definitely think the same could be said with this. If I put down 5 or 6 of these, I believe I would actually be pretty stoned.
Yeah, I believe that actually. It's just because, like, dude, anything, right? Like, if I hit one Dynavap, like, I get stoned, but I'm not like really stoned. But like, if I hit 2 or 3 bowls, like within 30 minutes, like that's when I go from being like that edge is gone and like I'm feeling it, to like I'm fucking wrecked, and like my brain, I have to like remind myself that I'm thinking. Like that's that next level. So I could see that happening with even something like that.
I mean, yeah, obviously, like
Because
right,
I've
we're
never drank
stacking.
anything.
Oh, look at that.
Hey, this shit's intense, bro.
So speaking of new things, what is this one of the new
This is
things you scooped up?
It's some Georgia pie wet batter from West Coast Cures. Okay, some live resin wet batter. And dude,
Ooh.
it's crazy looking, dude.
Yeah, it's like a
Because
pretty
it's like
crazy,
saucy.
yellowy.
It's like saucy, but like battery at the same time.
Well, even you know what it honestly looks like? It's like kind of like Mountain Dew green.
No, it's more yellow.
And say it looks more yellow on my screen, but it reminds me of like
Sorry, my hands are super dry right now. But yeah, dude, that shit looks
it reminds me of what is it, like a lemon meringue pie?
Yeah, it looks like a lemon curd.
You know what I mean? Just like pulling that little bit of the lemon out, like
Pretty tasty too. About to try another dabski of it right now.
Speaking of dabs, how are you liking the new banger now that you've had some more time to
Well,
use the new style banger?
This is the thing, man. I've been switching it up. Like I just recently went back to the old terp slurp situation. I like it and I don't like it's different, you know what I mean? It's just dependent on what I'm using. One thing I found is with the auto spinners, with the holes being here, over here. It's all hot because I just finished cleaning it. But with the fucking holes on the sides, like if you put a decent amount of concentrate in there and it gets up to those holes, it'll actually leak out. And then like I get fucking oil on the bottom of my banger, which is kind of like it's not the big deal. I end up cleaning it off anyway.
So it's not
So
a
it's-
banger for Ben Globin to play with.
Yeah, I was gonna
No,
say. So that's
You're
like
not
the
gonna want to throw
first one,
super
maybe.
fatties in there. But I do like the way it works, like the compression and everything you get out of it. It's nice, dude. It's pretty similar to the terp slurp, just
Just get that
functions
auto
slightly,
spin,
yeah, just
directional airflow.
Because it's honestly pretty similar to like what I've got going on here, just without the dish. You know what I mean? So
I
it functions
love-
pretty similar.
I love that like the tech continues to evolve.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, it won't stop for a long time.
Yeah.
Like wait
it's
until like,
crazy.
dude, for me, like part of it is like I feel like on the battery operated like stuff, there's still so many improvements that could be made. I'm sure
Oh,
that like the
100%.
innovation on glass and everything else is going to continue to go as well. But I think that like in the next like year or two, like we're going to start to see like crazy affordable like vaporizers that might even be made by like Wismic and shit.
You know, that's a valid point.
You know what I mean? Like all the Chinese like e-cigarette manufacturers like are gonna, I just have this feeling that they're going to, especially like as more states in America and like if more places in Europe it becomes legal, like it's fucking game over for that. Like, and I think that like China will just be going crazy making shit.
You
Dude,
got a
imagine
great
getting like
point.
a dope little Wismec fucking vaporizer that worked good.
Yeah,
That'd be like
dude.
such a throwback for
Well,
me,
the
even
sick
though it's
thing
brand
is,
new.
they've got all that knowledge and that history with the chip technology. So
Yeah,
you
they've already got all that
know
shit down.
that like they're gonna have good temp regulations and things like that are gonna be built into these chips
Dude,
that are gonna work correctly
Even
for
if
these
they
products.
just provide some companies with their chip technology, you know what I mean? Just that alone. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
dude.
Yeah, they
good
just like
point.
build chips for them.
Yeah, it's like even if they're just supplying the chip, or even if they're just like making the body and selling it to them as like a third party, kind of white label sort of situation, like everybody's doing with the disposables now. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, oh, well, we know we can go hit up this company and get our own branded this or that done using their platform. You know what I mean? I could definitely see that happening for sure.
I think from a
That would be smart.
perspective, like I said,
only
from a
makes sense,
perspective
yeah.
of the cannabis industry, it would behoove the companies in the industry to align with those companies from the the e-cig vaping world. Because
Yeah, bro. Like imagine ordering off 3F vape, just
Yeah.
all sorts of vape like vaporizers. They're like for cannabis.
Well, I mean, I've been saying for a long time that, this right here, the PAX Pod, is the only thing that I think has been innovative in the cannabis vaping scene so far. And basically all this is a jewel pod. It's a piece of silica wick with a coil wrapped around it in the center.
Well, isn't that
So-
like the fucking oh man, whatever that little green had one. It's that little square pod device. It starts with an M. Anybody? They have one where you can like put the
The
there's
My
like
Pod, Me Pod, was that what it was called?
yeah, me pod. Yeah, and there's like a me pod that's for cannabis. Like there's a pod for it. Like that's old, man. That's probably like 3 years old or some shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, PAX was the first ones to drop this design. I mean, these guys were the original owners of Juul.
It was just this pod with a C cell coil in it.
So like this is since before Juul, this technology has existed. But like this is it right now. This is the peak of the innovation. There is a cool feature that I will say I love to point out in a sales. This is obviously not a sales pitch for PAX, but I think it's brilliant. You see these pods have this red ring around them. This red ring indicates to you that this is a smart pod. So if I didn't have the cheap $35 battery and I had the more expensive battery, then it would be Bluetooth enabled. And that ring would indicate that in that battery, when I plug a pod in, it would automatically set my battery to the appropriate ideal temperature for this particular pod. So you pop your Pineapple Express in because you want to get the best, sativa rip you can get to start your day. And you go take a pull off of that battery and it's set it to the perfect, what the manufacturer, what PAX has deemed the ideal temperature to vape that particular concentrate at. And then you pop that guy out and like, okay, now I want my Wi-Fi in. So you pop that pod on. That's your indica. You go to rip that, and it's completely different temperature now.
That's
Because-
pretty slick.
Like, I think that shit's brilliant.
No, dude, that's smart. And you know what? Like, just before we get off this subject, I want to say this out loud. So at least it's like recorded. And if it ever happens, you can go back and say, yo, like Chris invented that in his brain. But dude, think about it. I was thinking about a fucking billet box style, right? But instead of where like the boro is, you just have like a little ceramic element and you have like your Dynavap inside.
You want to see something kind of cool?
And it
Chris?
heats up the Dynavap and you hear the double click and then you can just like hit it. And then like whenever you want to cache it, you just pull it out by sliding the door off and then just fucking that'd be fucking nice.
I mean, hearing what you're saying, I'm already imagining some sort of contraption that's not quite the same idea, but basically having everything contained like this so that you would press a button and it would just have your Dynavap at the optimal position for your torch and it just heats your Dynavap and then you're like, yep. And then you're hitting it. all
Yeah,
in
like
one
virtually
unit.
like that. Virtually like that.
Yeah. Like,
but it would
my
be
my
just,
vision
like,
got
in your
way
thing.
stripped down from yours, but I like what you're thinking.
Well, no, like, dude, it's okay. So here's a pulse, right? So let's just say that everything about the pulse is the same, except where instead of where the vessel is, you just have like this ceramic coil or ceramic cup or whatever, and then you could have like a fitting in from the top that pressures in with the fucking drip tip and like that one piece, and you just heat it up and you could go fucking crazy, dude. It'd be fucking amazing.
Well, I mean, just think, right? If you had a little battery powered pump that was in it too, and it just pumped the air in it into your, or pumped air through it, so it just blew the vapor right in your lungs, you'd basically have a Mighty or a Crafty by Stores and Bickle.
I'm trying to find this fucking.
I just think that it'd be fucking dope.
Um,
It's basically like it'd be like a induction heater all in one.
I'm still saying we got to figure out how to make a 510 threaded induction heater. So
Yeah, like
that,
a legit one.
so you could just put that shit onto your dual
There's really no
18650
reason like
mod or
why.
whatever, and just be able to go fire the button and then boom, we're ready. We're vaping.
Yeah, like I don't know why there isn't one already.
I don't know what these things are called. Damn it.
Yeah, because that's like that would be clutch.
That would
for
be
those
huge.
of us who have Dynavaps and have regulated mods. It would be so clutch.
Not for sure. Especially if it's like a little bit windy. You know, you run out of fucking. You're one of those people that always seems to run out of like butane.
I'm imagining
set.
like I'm going out somewhere, you know, I'm in a nice, beautiful beach setting, let's say, and I got my Dynavap, I got my little fucking single 18650 regulated mod, so it's nice and compact, and I can just go boop, press a button, get my click, take my Dynavap, and just enjoy my time in nature.
Dude, but that's
simply.
why I'm saying like the billet box style one, you could literally take it all out just like that.
Well, I mean, again though, like ultimately we've got stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's not a
in-
Dynavap though.
No, it's not. But then from what
That's
you're
why-
describing to do what you want to do, it wouldn't be a Dynavap anyway.
No, it'd still be a Dynavap. So the only thing that would be different, right? So like on here, so you have it go into this stem. The stem would just be drastically shorter and go into a drip tip. So it really would be the same thing from here to here, but the drip tip or like the mouthpiece would be where my finger ends. Because it would screw on. So it'd be like sitting in the thing, just like this, up against the bottom, and then you complete the connection by screwing through the top, and you'd have like the traditional like 510 drip tip from a billet box. And this would just be sitting in a ceramic cup, like right above this, right? So like you have like the chit, and you just have like the ceramic cup here for the connection, and then the Dynavap, and then the connector right here.
Dude, I'm trying to
Like,
find these fucking.
That's like the concept. That's the
See,
concept.
like I get what you're thinking, but what I'm seeing is that you've got a vaporizer with a vaporizer in it. Because your ceramic cup could just be the vessel you put the flour in, and it just channels into a chimney.
But for me, it's because I love the Dynavap. Like I love the Dynavap, and like I think that that'd be dope to just have the Dynavap in there. That's why
you were talking about like a billet box style like device for like concentrate or like whatever, maybe possibly or whatever.
He wants like
well, this is just something that like popped in my head when you were talking about it. You see these things?
Yeah. That's just tall. Like I don't like the form factor as much, but like that is still pretty cool. And this guy makes them all by hand.
And you just literally they just take a little C-cell fucking cartridge and then you fill up your Boro tank with your distillates or whatever. A Foot Clan Dan has one of these. He's the one who showed me. It just popped in my head when you were talking about that. I was like, yeah, that's something kind of like that, but obviously different.
Yeah, like so mine would be for Dynavaps. Like it would not be for anything else.
Yeah, what I'm understanding now is that Chris wants a portable induction heater that works like those vape cart mods that people can slide the vape cart inside of. He wants
Dude,
to
it's
be
like
able
an
to,
AIO.
he wants to be able to
AIO.
just slide the fucking Dynavap inside this little device, and then when he wants to heat it up, he can just hit a button and toot toot.
Yeah. And it would just look like I was vaping like tobacco products or whatever.
I get it now. I see your vision.
Yeah. No, dude, it'd be fucking awesome though.
See, like that's where I wish that this little fucking G-Pen Dash thing. That's where I wish that this thing was just a little bit better. Because this could literally do what I'm asking of these kind of devices. It's just not, it doesn't hit the right temperature to get the full
That's
extraction.
the one that like there's the compressed pucks, right?
I used the compressed pucks with it. But
Like
it's just
that's
a
what they
dryer.
come with though, or something. Like you can get it for that. Like that's what I mean. You can get the pucks for that, right?
You can get the pucks. The pucks can be used in anything, and this was something that they paired with it at one time.
Okay.
I think that's the best way I'm gonna be able to explain that, because this is a product that you can just buy from Grenco right now. It's like a $60 or $80 device, and you can just go buy one if you're a dryer or vaping fanatic and you want to try something new that's portable. Honestly, I think when you grind your own flour and you put it inside this thing, it's much better than it was with the Hue Puck. The thing with this is that I use a Dynavap. There's a certain amount of heat I get out of a Dynavap that is not produced by any of these electrical devices. And that leaves a lot on the table. I left this thing packed and it's still pretty green in there. Like,
Yeah.
I could easily
Like I
go
feel
a whole
like that
nother
would be
round.
fine for other people. Like casual,
Mhm.
people in the cannabis biz, you know what I mean? And that would probably work for them.
Well, here's
I
the
would
thing.
figure.
This didn't work for them, and I think
Oh, really?
that's the issue, is that this is, I think, for a certain niche of people, right? It's for a dry herb vaporizer user who is looking to have the cool, smooth sensation, to not actually feel like anything's happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
To
like
just
if you want that like that fucking throat hit / like chest pressure from like a fat rip, you're not gonna get it from that.
exactly. That's what this is
Okay.
designed. To me, it's similar to like the Puffco pen that I got.
It's like more for micro dosing. I from what I understand from like how you explained it before, I feel like it's more towards someone who's looking just for a light dose that's nothing too heavy. You know
Yeah, to
what I
get them
mean?
by.
That can get them by. It's not going to be for the more avid stoner who, maybe wants a little bit more of that throat hit, maybe wants to get rocked a little bit. You're not going to really find that with that device.
That's going to be great for a medical patient with COPD, for example, who still wants to inhale but
Yeah,
doesn't
but without
want
getting choked out.
exactly doesn't want to get choked out. I think that's where that's great. I think that's why you have the better products on the market that do this, like the Stores and Bickles ones, with the price tags they have, because they actually have the power behind them to produce the kind of heat that we
And
want for that
consistency.
extraction. That too, and the consistency.
I feel like that's really key too, is being able to find a temperature and being able to go to that same temperature every time and knowing that it's going to work for you.
Well, and the airflow too, right? Like,
yeah,
with something this small, the amount of air I'm bringing through the material is cooling the material so quickly. It's not staying in the warmed state to continue to produce vapor for nearly as long. I mean, when we think about a Dynavap, that's a completely sealed environment where this compressed hot air is being drawn through and then through the material. It's a much tighter draw. As a result, we get a more richer, robust vape out of it.
Yeah, but you know what? Maybe it's even like you basically in that device, it'd be cool if you could do what you can do with a Dynavap in the aspect of like you can get a titanium like bowl and like a temp cap and like you can have like all the different things, because if you use the low temp cap, like I find that I either combust it or I don't get it warm enough for me. And it's like lots of flavor and it works fine, but it's not my style of Dynavap usage. So like I'd
Chris,
rather have the regular one.
I'm so glad you just brought the low temp cap up, because I've been doing an experiment today and I found the best use of it, and it's this FMJ. Having this FMJ on the low temp cap is this crazy experience between the intense flavor that low temp cap can give
Yeah.
with the sustained heat that the FMJ provides. So I'm getting like rich, dense, and flavorful hits with the low temp cap, and it's pretty fucking mind-boggling.
All right. Well, I think that when I come back from the meetup in April, I'll have like an FMJ or two.
Yeah,
Just because I want to fucking give it a go.
I totally think
It's
you
gonna
need
be
to
a
try
whole
it.
new learning curve, but like
It's
that's fine.
really not
Speaking
though.
of which, Dynavap's dropping a new
Yeah, I want to talk about that for a minute.
thing that
What is it? What
kinda-
is it? I'm gonna look at
It's
it
called
right
the Armored Cap. It's not on the
What?
website. It's not on the website yet, but they posted a story on Instagram yesterday. And literally
Yes.
what it is it's a cap that's like 3 times as thick from what it looks like than the original cap.
Yep.
And what it does is it pretty much acts as an FMJ and cap in one.
What?
So
Yep.
it's literally like
Uh,
you don't have here he says he's like you can spin it if you want, or you could just hit it on the side. It's totally up to you, depending on what you want to do. And all it is really is it just looks like a really thick ass cap.
I just want to say that we were talking about doing that, like asking for that, what, 2 years ago now?
Mhm.
We were like, dude, something that holds the heat a little longer, a little bit more thicker. Like George said, that's the reason they did it. Like when you watch the reveal video, Chris, he says, like, this is a result of you, the community, saying that you wanted something that held the heat longer, was a little bit thicker, would really, deliver those thicker, more denser hits. And here it is. This is what we developed. And it looks great, dude. It looks great. It's still a signature Dynavap.
Still
Cap
fits in an
shape.
induction heater. Just a little bit thicker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. So I'm excited. Your boy's gonna get one. I gotta try it. Like, as much as I
Dude,
love the FMJs.
I'm curious on how well an FMJ works in an induction heater.
I don't know.
I've never tried it.
Yeah.
I wonder if it works.
Does it fit?
I
Or
don't
you're
know.
wondering if it
Like
would
I
fit?
said, I've never tried it. I have
Yeah.
to find
Oh,
my
okay.
induction heater.
I
haven't
don't
used it in
have
a
one
while.
anymore.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if I have mine. I might. I'll have to look.
My button eventually failed.
Oh, on the inside?
So yeah, it just wouldn't. I couldn't
Click.
turn it on and click it anymore to use it. So I chucked it, and we gave our second one to my father-in-law with his Dynavap
Nice.
because I got him a custom coated one by Palmer's.
Hell yeah. I want to get it.
Dude, fucking Dynavap. Thank you for ever existing and thank you for continuing to innovate. Like that's fucking awesome.
That
Awesome.
we've said it a bunch, but I think one of the coolest things about Dynavap is that they encourage their community to innovate, and then that in turn pushes them to innovate themselves. So like it's super cool because it's like full well George has seen everybody talk about an FMJ. He's seen other products that people have done, and he's gone, that's really interesting. I like that you like that. I like that that's your idea of how to adapt the Dynavap to your needs. Now, how could I do my way?
Yeah, because I'm going to check it out, bro.
Like, yeah, dude. Like, it's
I've
brilliant.
got 2 FMJs already. Like, why not?
That's what I'm saying. I got to try one. I too have 2 FMJs.
I might actually leave mine with somebody today. I'll leave one of them. Just bless
Ooh.
somebody with one, see how they like it.
Fuck yeah. See, that's the one thing I will say I like about having the FMJs is that I have one on a regular captive cap and one on a low temp cap.
Yeah, I literally just did that. So I'm going to take one with a low temp and one without and just test them while I'm hanging out.
It was something that, like I said, I'm
should
really
find my
impressed.
induction heater too for that.
I really do like the way that the low temp cap with the FMJ is performing. This might be my preferred way I'm not quite sure yet if I'm 100% sold. It's the thing is
on the path to
Yeah.
being my way.
well, because like the thing is, right, is that like we know I like what I like to call a warm start with a dab, where like I'll preheat my banger a little bit and then I'll do the normal cold start thing, just so I have a little more heat in it. And it's like that's kind of what I get out of this with the flower. I get all that like perfect terpy goodness, but still enough of a ripper that I'm like, yeah, I'm satisfied with that hit. And it may be psychosomatic. It may be me making judgments that I'm not qualified to make. But I almost feel like I'm higher from the hits off of this because I'm not going as hot, as though I'm preserving some of the terpene effects because I'm not destroying them in the heat up.
You're making me want to fiddle with temperatures on my volcano a little bit more. Because like I've just kind of started at one point, and depending on like what I put in it, I've been bumping it up a little bit. And dude, let me tell you what happened to me the other day, fellas, with the volcano. I went for a ride. But speaking of which, still need to name it. Not quite sure. It has to be some sort of like mountain sort of situation, like a volcano. It's got to be
Vesuvius in my head.
Dude, that's been in my head too, Sean. Mount Vesuvius, but I can't even say it though when I'm stoned. So that's the problem.
Vesuvi hits.
Yeah.
Mount Fuji. Just call it Mount Fuji.
Isn't that what Will's is?
Oh, that is what Will calls it. That's why it was familiar in my brain. You could just call it like a mountain range around you that's like famous.
Dude, I kind of want to like. I was also thinking like kind of Finding Nemo, Mount Wanahakalugi. Isn't that what that was called?
I'm not familiar.
When the little volcano and the aquarium tank in the dentist office. Isn't that what they called it?
If my wife was here, I'd ask her because she would know. But I can't.
That popped in my head. I don't know, man. Because dude, sometimes I do want to Hockaloogie after hitting it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll be coughing so hard.
I mean, I'm good for a bad pun. It's not a mountain, but I'd call it Mount Rushmore.
Oh, Mount Cushmore.
Oh.
There we go. Bada bing. Mount Cushmore from now on.
Brainstorm in session.
Thank you, boys. That's how it's done.
Here.
Mount Cushmore.
Bong.
Fuck yeah.
Yo,
I'm excited. So I was fucking around with Mount Cushmore. I didn't finish my story. All right. Yeah. And let me tell you.
Speaking of Mount Cushmore.
I was at the peak of Mount Cushmore, bros. Because I think I put like 2 different kinds of flour in there to start, right? And then I put a little bit of some, bubble hash. And then I put a little bit of that cold cure or that cold water hash in there too. So I had 2 different kinds of hash in there, and I didn't go light on the hash either, boys. There's quite a bit in there. And dude, by the second bag, bro, I was coughing like I was taking dabs, bro. First bag was delicious. It was a little, I had a couple of, but it wasn't nothing crazy. But dude, by the end of the second bag going into the third bag, I was fucking gone. I was out there, dudes. And then afterwards, after I ended up taking like at least like another 2 bags. So I think I did 5 bags off this one bowl, right?
Dang.
Like, I don't know, maybe like 20 minutes later, everybody's like, oh shit, who wants to take a dab? And you know how it is. And when everybody's there, it's like, oh, well, one person's taking one. We all got to do one. So I sit here and start fucking heating up my banger. And then all of a sudden, I don't realize how long it's been. Will's already telling Kevin to heat his up because, we do our preheat and Kevin does a cold start. So I've been sitting here heating this thing up for like 2 fucking minutes, bro.
Oh, shit.
Not even realizing it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I was
about to be the longest cooldown ever.
Dude, I got that thing up to like 1,300. I got up to like 1,300 degrees, bro. I had to let it cool down to about a cool 500. Yeah, it was a while.
That was probably just like your inner self telling yourself, hey, I'm going to give you an extra like couple minutes here just
Yeah.
so you don't go.
All that
fucking
was pretty
totally
much to
gone.
say I fucking need to watch it on the old volcano and not fucking go
Yeah,
so
dude,
crazy.
Mount
dude.
Cushmore can definitely
Mount Cushmore
take
will be
and
fucking
give. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That vape, that I'll tell you that flower vape shit is a different high, people.
It is, bro.
It sneaks up on you because you're like, all right, I'm good, and then all of a sudden it's like you turn your head and you're like,
Well, it's because, dude, the thing is like it's not like I just do one bag and then I'm chilling. It's like I do the whole bowl. So
Well,
I'm sitting
yeah,
here and I'll take
I
4
would too.
full fucking bags. You know what I mean? And the first bag hasn't even hit me by the time I'm hitting the 4th one. So by the time I'm done with the 4th one, I'm finally, maybe starting to feel the second. And then by the time, 20, 30 minutes is gone, that 4th, 5th bag is stacked on top of those first 3. And then you're like, oh, wow. You know what I mean?
yeah, I hear singing nursery rhymes that no one's heard but you.
Yeah.
Like, what in the hell happened to my brain? But you know what? That's the fun. That's the fun of it. Like, I'm excited that I just found out that one of the homies just recently made the flip himself. He was telling me for the last like week or 2, it's been nothing but dry herb vape stuff that he's been ripping. And I laughed. I was like, bro, I'm warning you right now. The next bong hit you try to take is not going to taste good anymore.
Oh, it's the worst.
Dude,
It's
like,
the worst, bro. I
It's not
honestly,
good.
it upsets me so much because I miss ripping my fucking, my nice, like 13, 14-inch beaker, bro. You know what I mean? Like I loved ripping that
Get
bong
a
so bad.
bonger when you get that armor cap.
Dude, I should.
That way you can relive it. Because honestly, like,
Well, I could do it. I could just use my fucking
oh yeah, how much
assassin
different
stem,
is
dude.
the FMJ with like through a bomb?
I
It's pretty
love
nice, dude. But honestly,
I
the thing
love it for
is,
that.
bro, you don't get enough airflow through a Dynavap cap when you're using that big of a fucking bong, dude. That's the only problem. The compression is gnarly.
Yeah.
That's why I like using a smaller rig because you can milk it
agree.
up, but it's not. You don't have to
It's
pull
like-
as much fucking.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I
like
use
something
this
like
little
that.
guy, and
Perfect.
it's perfect with a
But hook
Dynavap.
that up to one of your 2-footers, dude, and it's gonna be a
Yes, it's fair.
bitch. You know.
Although I am gonna tell you this, like, if everything works out, I've planned with my wife for our anniversary. We're gonna buy this like dumb bong.
This dumb one.
Stupid, not necessary, stupid. It's a Zong, and I think we decided on the 8 kink. So this thing stands a solid like 3.5 feet, 4 feet tall, something like that. And with the kinks, if you were to straighten that out, it would be like a 6-7 foot tall bong if it was a straight beaker. I am gonna try to rip through the Dynakeg. I'm gonna try to rip one. I gotta know.
Yeah. Oh wow.
That'd be
Absolutely,
gnarly, bro.
I have to give it a shot. I mean, I'm gonna slap the FMJ on that bitch. We're gonna try to heat that motherfucker. We're gonna see how she fires.
If they could create somehow a little bit more airflow without taking away.
Well, like, which bowl do you think has the most airflow of the ones you have? Because like they all have slightly different airflow on them.
See, that's the thing, dude. I haven't used any of them really in a while, so it's like hard to tell.
Yeah,
Up
like
top.
I feel like my 2020 with its faceted has more airflow than
Well,
like
I think that
my titanium tip.
I think the 2019 titanium tip has pretty decent airflow. I have a 2021. Fuck, I don't remember anymore, dude. I don't remember which tips I have and what they are half the time. I know I've got a couple. I got a 2019, a 2020, a 2021. I've got like one cap from each year or one tip from each year, I think, on something.
Yeah, that's the fun. I mean, I have so many pieces now of Dynavap paraphernalia. And
I just got another one too. I got a whole new cap tip set up when I got the FMJ because I ordered the FMJ and then I got a the whole pack too because I was like, fuck it, what doesn't
Yep.
hurt to have an extra tip, and it was a titanium one, which
I mean-
I prefer the titanium tips to be honest.
That's what's on my Simrel. When you
Because
buy
I like my
when you buy
titanium
these-
Omni tip, bro. I use that a lot. That's what's this is on. I just need to clean it. I need to clean some Dynavaps because I'm going on a trip to get stoned, boys. Get
Fuck
old
yeah.
Nice.
stone.
Is that today? Are you doing
Yeah,
that today?
dude. Right at a little while after this.
Fuck
How
About an
yeah.
hour
many
or two
people are
after
going to be
this.
there?
I don't know. Couple, like a handful, I think.
Nice.
I'm just down for the vibes, bro. Get out of my house, see some friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
yeah.
man, it's always good.
And indulge with some homies, like having a legit circle going, like in-person circles are the best. Even though I love these vibes, bros. Don't get me wrong. I fucking cherish these moments. But when you get to do them in person, man, it just takes it to that, that little extra level.
Oh,
And
I agree.
I'm also going to be able to introduce some things to some people, which is going to be cool and help possibly elevate their experience. With the FMJ, might give a couple people a little dab ski, you know what I mean? Serve somebody up, the right way. People, you know what I mean? Not fucking them over the first time over, ease them in, give them a little taste so they know what kind of flavor experience they can get from the concentrates. Because let me tell you what, there ain't nothing like it. Well, Volcano and Dynavap gets pretty fucking close, to be honest. But dude,
Yeah.
I'm stoked, man. I've been in a good mood all day today, and I'm just gonna ride these vibes.
No, that's perfect, man. I'm fucking happy for you. Hopefully, everybody's safe out there.
Yeah, dude. I'm just hoping traffic's not gonna be crazy because I'm gonna have to drive down through the trafficy areas.
Oh man.
But it is Sunday, but I also thought,
but it's
just
Super
remember
Bowl
too, it's Super Bowl
Sunday.
too, so
Yeah, but there's
it'll be cool.
It'll
It
probably
is.
be pretty
It
easy.
is what it is. Yeah, I ain't worried. I'm gonna leave, with
It's not
plenty
like
of
Super
time.
Bowl's in LA.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave with plenty of time to get there.
Isn't it who's playing? I'm so out of touch on sports right now.
Eagles,
I don't even know.
Chiefs.
Yeah, Eagles, Chiefs.
All right, so it's not even like you have a hometown
No, I'm not even really fucking.
playing in it. So yeah, you're
Yeah,
good.
and obviously everybody already knows who won.
Yeah, but the
Yeah,
time
did you
everyone's
see
listening,
that?
they know the winning score. the
No,
whole
but
nine.
did you also see the other thing where there's this big fucking conspiracy theory going around about the NFL guys? I don't know if you've heard about it, Chris. You may have heard about it, but
I'm not sure.
apparently, the entire NFL is scripted.
What?
Oh,
I've not heard
I could
that.
believe this.
And in the beginning of each season, each team gets handed a script, and the whole main reason of practice is to rehearse the script. There's this ex pro NFL player that went on a podcast and talked about it, and then a couple days ago, somebody supposedly leaked the script for the Super Bowl because it has the date, the teams, what the final scores are going to be, and all that sort of shit, just on this little thing, and someone posted it. But it's this big old conspiracy that's going around, and everybody's like, what this score ends up being the final score, shit's going to be fucking crazy.
I mean,
But yeah, you guys haven't heard about that?
well, so
It's been going around for the past few months, I think, and I've heard about it here and there on a couple things, and I'm just I wouldn't put it past them, but then again, I don't know, that's hilarious.
WWF, man.
Hey, bro.
Well, wait. Here's the thing.
But is it?
Here's the thing. It's entirely believable because Vince
Think-
McMahon's already done it.
What do you
Remember
mean?
the XFL?
Yeah, but that.
The XFL was Vince McMahon proving that you can actually script football. Let's not forget that. That was Vince McMahon's plan from day one on the XFL, was to create a WWF in football by creating the XFL. And he did it successfully for a few fucking seasons. So, I mean, it's 100% a proof of concept right there that it's possible. just like
Yeah.
wrestling.
And then just kind of think about some of the shit that happens throughout the season and like how kind of wild some of the stuff is and like how it does kind of create like more hype on certain games. And I don't know, man.
I mean,
I'm not saying it's true, but I'm not saying it's not.
I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if I found out it was true.
It just was
You
cracking me
know?
up, dude, because I was just like, I read a couple things and then like listened to a couple like little podcast clips, and I was like, I don't know, man. Like it's kind of hilarious.
I mean,
I wish I could find what that score was so I can like remember it and then like check and see if that's what it ends up being. Because if so, dude, that would be hilarious.
Oh, believe me, if it is the same score, you're gonna see it all over the place.
Oh, dude, the internet will fucking
yeah.
blow.
exactly.
So-
That'll make actual
you'll do all
headline
right.
news.
Yeah,
Oh,
you'll do all right.
100%, dude.
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. There's a little piece of me that hopes that is the same score.
Dude,
I kind of want to see that chaos unfold. I'm not gonna lie.
I think the Kansas City is gonna win though. So
that's who they
You heard
had
it here
to win, I
first.
think.
oh really?
I
Oh
think.
no. Oh no.
KC Mo
A lot of people want Kansas City to win from what I
Tech
understand.
9.
I
That's all
haven't
I gotta
watched
say.
I didn't watch it all this season, so I can't say.
I mean, I'll say this: Rihanna's hot as hell, and she's doing the halftime
Yeah,
show.
she is doing the halftime show. She's an attractive woman for sure.
So she's gorgeous. Her voice is amazing. She smokes a lot of weed. I'm cool with all of those things. Oh,
Yeah,
and she's
man.
outspoken as fuck.
I'll watch that. I'll watch
So-
that for sure.
I might
was gonna
might
say
turn it on
something
just
so
for
bad.
the halftime show. I'll be like, let me see Rihanna.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
You know, let me see Rihanna. How's she doing? She's been like
Dude,
MIA for like the last 3 years.
She
The
just
last
had a
few
baby
years-
apparently.
The only thing that I've been watching football for is like Super Bowl commercials and the halftime show. Like last year, that's all I watched. Just because Dre, Snoop, and everybody.
Dude, Kendrick killed it.
Yeah,
He fucking his portion was bananas.
dude, it was just like it reminded me. It just brought me back, bro. You know what I mean? That's all the shit I grew up on. So like, fuck yeah, dudes.
No, it was cool for sure. It was better than a lot of them. So, every so often they're just like,
Yeah,
for me. But I do enjoy most of them.
that was
Wasn't one like a
dope.
couple years ago? It was like, oh man, it was like two women. It was J Lo and
Shakira.
yeah, Shakira. That was a Super Bowl, right?
I think so.
Yeah, like I don't know what else it would have been. I'm pretty sure
Yo.
that was a real thing.
Did you know that Shakira, I guess, is basically on the run right now?
Oh yeah, for
Really?
like tax evasion or some
Yeah,
shit. Right?
bro. She's been on the run for tax problems, and I guess the shit's been crazy. I'm trying to find a news article real quick so I can give you the quick gist of it.
I heard something about that a while
because
ago.
yeah, I had just heard about it again like earlier this week. I'm trying to see here if I can find something real quick.
Yeah, was it in Spain or
I
somewhere
can't
in Europe?
I can't remember what country, but it's tax evasion in some country.
Yeah, I think that it's somewhere in Europe because I think that she's originally from South America, but I think that the tax evasion was because like now that you said a little bit more, I think I remember hearing that. Like maybe it's in like Portugal or Spain or something.
Yeah, I just found something real quick. It is Spain. She's caught in a heated battle with Spanish authorities over the allegation that she failed to pay nearly $14 million in taxes.
Well,
Wow.
that ain't a small chunk there, Shakira.
Yeah, that's not like all right. Well, I'll pay 140K. I'll
Your
pay
hip's been
1.4
lying about
million.
something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, it's your taxes.
Yeah. Fuck, that's a lot of money, man.
For real, bro. That's a lot of cheddar.
I'm sure that
apparently
she's
ducking
made
it.
a lot of money though. Like that's why you know when you owe that much money in tax, I mean it's because you made a lot of fucking money.
Well, like it's crazy to think about because like I remember hearing about Shakira in like the 90s when she was like still singing in Spanish, right? And like thinking, damn, like she's kind of good and I don't even know what she's saying. And I was like a little kid just like catching her on like these late night infomercials before ECW on the Spanish channel. Just being 100% real. It was like my buddies and I would have sleepovers, and the Spanish channel, for whatever reason in our area, at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, would show ECW wrestling. So like we'd have a sleepover on a Friday night. We'd fucking stay up till like 2 in the morning to watch ECW and shit. It was great. But yeah, like you'd be waiting for it to turn over to ECW, and you'd catch like a Shakira music video or some like fucking Spanish dance music compilation ad, and it would have one of her songs in it. Like, damn, that's actually pretty catchy. And then all of a sudden, like I remember in like the early mid 2000s, something like that, she started to hit the American pop scene and became just explosive in the
Yeah, I
American
remember
music
like
scene.
when it would have been but
Explosive West Coast.
I do
shit.
remember her being like very, very all over the place. Like she was a very popular.
Yeah, I mean, she blew up for a while, and then now she's just gone. There's a lot of musicians that did that like were huge and then just
Dude, it happens
disappeared.
all the time, dude. One hit wonders, or ones that just don't have the longevity. They pop up for like a year or two and then gone. Like what happened to Fetty Wap, bro?
Yeah, well, in hip hop,
I just said that because I literally just like watched something on him the other day and I thought it was hilarious.
in hip hop, there's a lot of certain extenuating circumstances that make those situations happen.
1738.
Oh man, but
Yeah,
like,
but
it's crazy to think about. Like there are so many songs that like we grew up with by artists that like they just disappeared.
what happened to Chingy?
Yo, what happened to Chingy? All right,
I don't know who like any of these people
I'm
are. You guys
Googling
talking
Chingy
about?
right now. I gotta know. I gotta know that that's such that's an important question.
Because yeah, like a lot of this stuff I don't actually recognize.
Everybody in the club getting tipsy.
Oh, I know that song. That's who that was?
Oh my.
Whatever, dude. It's like a chameleon. He disappeared and then just like turned into like a mogul.
I got the answer, and I was not prepared to read this. In 2013, Chingy announced his departure from mainstream rap as he found religion and became a practicing Black Hebrew Israelite.
Oh shit!
Wow.
He found God.
That's interesting. That's definitely a turn that I wouldn't have expected. I actually thought you were gonna say he
Yeah.
died. Something like that.
Yeah, well, like I at least was going to bet that he just faded into obscurity. That like, maybe he's just doing like the small club scene in the South region, but he just faded
Yeah,
into
like you
obscurity.
figured like he was still chasing it, but it turns out that he was not at all.
No, he's like, I found God and I gave up the music business. More power to you. It's better, I think, that's what happens than like Andre 3000.
What happened with him?
He just stopped.
He lost his will to make music. He got inside his own head and started second guessing everything that he was making and thinking that nothing was good enough, and he just stopped making music.
He pops up on things randomly from time to time.
Yeah, little feature work here and there, but like there are some cool stories though where like apparently he can be found at a lot of the like Atlanta open mic nights, not performing, just hanging out. taking in the local music scene, seeing up and coming talent. And then once in a while, even offering, advice and encouragement as somebody who's already, come up in the music business to these young artists. And I think that's kind of fucking cool that like there's probably just some kid, on the mic in some Atlanta, club, like, yeah, this is my 5 minutes to spit my new song, see how the crowd likes it. And afterward, Andre 3000 just walks up to him like, hey, that's a really good song. But let me tell you right now, you should try to do this and this and this. By the way, I'm Andre 3000. Like, wait a minute. What the?
By the way, I'm Andre 3000.
Outcast motherfucker, the hey y'all motherfucker, and you're in front of. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, motherfucker. What? Like, do you understand? I would be. I'd be more speechless than I am right now if I was that artist. Like that early 90s Outcast was a big part of forming my musical drive and style as a young man coming up in music. So like to have that just happen would be like insane. I think anybody, no matter what you're into, if one of your heroes of that just walked up to you out of nowhere and was like, hey, that was really good. Can I give you some free advice? You'd be like, that'd be like fucking being a football, quarterback. And all of a sudden Tom Brady just pops up out of nowhere and says, hey, I like how you play. Here's some great advice. You'd be like,
yeah, dude.
Like you'd literally just have a goddamn meltdown. Be like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Could you please say that again while I record it so I can have it forever and ever and ever? I'm in.
I want to burn that into my memory.
You're out here skating and Bob Burnquist is like, hey, that was good, but try it this way. You're like, uh-huh.
I'll try whatever you want. Try whatever you want.
Yes, sir. How do I do it? Is it like this? Like this? How about like this? Am I doing it right? How about now? I will take every free second of coaching you want to give me. Thank you. May I have another?
Yeah, that shit would be crazy, dude.
It would be crazy. I mean,
just like if you ran into anybody that, was into whatever you were into that is like, famous or known or like anything, and they just like drop a little gem on you.
Well, it's honestly, that's something that to me is cool that you hear about comics doing, right? There'll be like comics that are like established comics that just might go out to some local club just to like
it's
work
more
on
so
their
nowadays
shit.
than it used to be, bro. That's like kind of like the new wave of comedy, because back in the day, bro, like people were fucking ruthless, because it was kind of like you hear about them talk about on all like the comedy podcasts nowadays, where like back in the day, dude, it was like famine mentality where like there wasn't enough for everybody, so it's like it's fucking dog eat dog sort of situations. But now you see a lot more people, like one of the big people doing it right now is Tony Hinchcliffe with the Kill Tony podcast, because it's literally he's giving people opportunities to come up and do 1 minute of stand-up comedy every Monday, and you can come and sign up every week. And there's been plenty of a handful of people that have actually gotten big comedy careers just from coming onto that show and doing a 1 minute set that turned into them becoming a regular, to becoming an opener, to a feature, to doing full-on arena tours and shit just from doing this fucking show. And then you get like other people that like Joe Rogan's taking some of these guys and taking them on tour with him, exposing them to his audience, and then they're able to book their own headlining tours after that, because they were able to open for some of the biggest comics, because they're opening that door like you're saying, and like being more like, hey man, maybe you should try this or that, or hey man, you want to come on the road with me and open for me here or there. And it's way different than how it used to be, and it's cool to see that, you know what I mean? And
well, like, it's cool too, but like the one thing that it's kind of like music, But the one difference is that like you're not gonna go just like pop over and at like your local music hall, there'll be like some big ass fucking band that just like happened to show up. They just like roll up to a fucking open, mic kind of vibe
Yeah.
of a venue. But yeah, like that seems to be something that's like really cool. Because I like that for sure. Like I have a friend, like we had Tyler Morrison on like a
Yeah.
long time ago, and I think that like that's how it kind of worked for him so far. Like he was just grinding, putting in work, and then like he kind of just got linked up with some dude that like ended up getting pretty big, and he would be like, "Yo, come open up for me," and like you just keep on going, right? And you get those experiences and all that stuff. But it's cool when you see it as in if you're grinding, like there still is like dreams that can get hit. Like you might never be really famous, but you might be able to like be a professional comedian where like you make an all right living, like you're not rich, you're not like scrambling to like pay your rent. And you just get to like live that dream
Dude,
of being like a traveling comedian. Like I'm sure for some people that's enough. They don't all have to make it like crazy famous. I'm sure that'd be
you know what it
great.
kind of reminds me of too? Is it kind of reminds me of the early days of like all this and like how we all got started. You know what I mean? It was that same vibe where it's like everybody was like, "Hey man, we got this show. You can come on and talk about this." And that's how all like the relationships we've built over the past like 4 to 5 years have kind of come to fruition is through that sort of mindset of, uh fucking self growth is community growth sort of thing where it's just like you just fucking link up with these people and the next thing you know you're building relationships and getting to bigger and bigger audiences just because you're opening yourself up to so many more people through other connections.
It's
I never really
100%.
thought about I never really thought about it until right now. That's kind of similar to like how we fucking got to where we were or are, I guess.
I think it's like that's all communities, right? You got, you get people who interconnect through different networks. I know in the world of comedy, I have been following this comedian AJ Wilkerson, and he's a comedian who's autistic. And the kid is hysterical. Kid, he's probably our age, right? Somewhere in the 30s to 40s. But like he's just got like a bit of a tick of a shake because of
Does
his
he have like a
autism.
mullet sort of thing?
Yes,
Yes, I
this
know
dude.
exactly. He's hilarious,
He
dude.
is hysterical.
Hilarious. Dude,
And
did you see? Okay, sidebar real quick.
Mullet.
I
Talking
wonder if you're
about this,
going to what I was going into.
was it the video with the lady in the front row and her laugh was just way out there and like he
Oh,
couldn't
shit, yes,
finish
I
his
did see
set
this.
because this laugh was just like and he's sitting there and he's like trying to like hold it together and stuff, but like he can't even contain himself because this lady's laugh and
Because
then like
her laugh is just awful,
and like
he
on
laughs
cue
because of
every
it.
time like he would just walk up to her and just point the microphone and it'd be like it was one of those like dry like inward like kind of like kind of dude, but it was way more intense, dude, and it was fucking
There's a long clip of
hilarious.
that. I think it's like later in that period of that segment where there's another person on the other side of the room who also has a ridiculously obnoxious
Oh,
laugh.
so it's a battle,
And he's like, I just even tried to get the two of you in sync. But that dude literally just
he's
went on tour
hilarious.
with Bert Kreischer.
Oh, really?
And
Shout out to Bert, bro, because he's one of those guys too, bro, that like will take like newer cats and fucking really he's like that on his podcast too. If you find something he likes, bro, he's like, oh, I need to get them on the podcast and let more people know about it, this and that. And dude, I want to go see because like he did this tour recently called the Fully Loaded Tour, where they went to like all these like major league stadiums and shit and had like 12 of some of the biggest, heaviest hitting comics like on this tour. And it was like a fucking party. Like you'd go there and it was like almost like a whole day event sort of thing. But dude, he had like Shane Gillis, Big J Okerson, Nikki Glazer, Brian Simpson, fucking Joey Diaz for some of the spots, like some of the biggest, like heaviest hitters on this tour, bro. And I was like, dude, I need to go see one of those because that shit would be fucking insane. Oh, did you guys know his movie's finally coming out? The
What
Machine.
movie? No,
he,
no,
he,
no, no. I
he
remember.
finally he did him. He went and filmed a movie about the whole story, The Machine. You know, the Burt Kreischer story about
Yeah,
how he
yeah,
got.
yeah. I've heard that. Yep.
They actually made it into a movie, and it's coming out May 5th, I think, Memorial Day. And dude, I've seen like the little trailer from it, and it looks like it's gonna be like one of those heavy hitting comedies that we've been missing for a long time.
Oh man,
You
I'll
know what I
watch it.
mean?
I love
It's
Burt Kreischer.
dude.
Like, is he gonna become a movie star now? Like, do you have that feeling?
Yeah, he could probably. He's already got another deal in the works because of this one,
Oh, really?
and the reception that they've just got off the trailer.
I feel like
Wow.
It's such a big deal that Tom Segura, once like he heard that like Burt got the deal to do this movie and got it greenlit, that he was like, hey man, like all seriousness, you can't fuck this up, bro. Because like if you do this right, you're opening the door for all of the rest of us to do this same thing. So if you fucking knock this out of the park like I think you can, if you take this serious, bro, you're gonna fucking start a new wave of fucking comedy movies that people are gonna be able to do.
yeah, this is I trust Burt Kreischer because his ability to tell a story is so vivid that I can't fathom you not being able to recreate his vision in real life, right?
It's
For the
gonna be
camera.
hilarious, dude.
It's gonna be amazing. And it's funny that like the machine story may actually be what got AJ Wilkerson on that tour with Burt. There's a video where AJ finds an old comment that is from a person who says that he's extremely funny and that he's going to show him to one of his old students who he thinks would be he thinks would love it or whatever. He's also autistic and he calls himself the Machine.
Do you guys know that the whole Van Wilder shit was based off of Burt Kreischer?
Really?
No, are you serious?
Yeah, because back in the day, the whole how fucking Burt got like his start was like he was in college at Florida State, and Rolling Stone magazine came down to do a article on the school. And when they called the school and said, hey, we're looking for someone to show us around campus and this and that, everybody they called said Burt Kreischer. Burt's the guy. And what happened is Burt literally just took this guy and showed him the fucking party life of Florida State. And like, yeah, he'd been there for 7 years, like fucking Van Wilder was like in the movie and shit. And he was just the number one party animal. And they ended up, instead of writing an article about Florida State, they wrote an article about Burt Kreischer being the number one party animal in the world. And from that, someone bought the rights to that to make a movie, and then ultimately it became Van Wilder. But from that, he ended up getting like a couple show deal. He got like a deal with like Will Smith to like develop something, and then he ended up doing like all those travel channel shows like Burt the Conqueror and Hurt Burt and Trip Flip and a bunch of other things, and then he ended up transferring into comedy.
Wow.
It's so crazy to think about that. Holy shit. My mind is blown. I obviously need to listen to more of his podcast.
Yeah, I listened to a lot of Burt and Tom and all those guys.
I
Dude,
love
they're
Two
fucking
Bears.
hilarious.
Fucking
Dude,
their chemistry is awesome.
Burt's got this thing he does on YouTube too. It's called, well, he also does that as a podcast, but it's called Something's Burning. And it's like he'll get like 2 or 3 of his favorite comics, and they'll like sit in like this like kitchen studio that he's built in his house, and he'll make them a meal while they just shoot the shit about like whatever. Dude, some of those are fucking hilarious, dude.
Oh, I gotta check those out. That's my kind of viewing. That combines a couple of things I love. It's like I don't know if you've seen the First We Feast series that they do where it's like the snack wars.
I've seen a few of them. Like well, maybe not the Snack Wars, but I've seen like the other shows where like they do like the burger ones and stuff. Like I've seen like one where they made burgers and it was like Gabriel Iglesias and they're like in his like V-Dub warehouse.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah, I think Snack Wars specifically was Lad Bible.
Okay.
But like
Yeah, I didn't see
there's
that
one
one.
from First We Feast where like they're interviewing people and they're eating like odd snacks while they're being interviewed.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
They're super fucking fun. Like I like that. Like the Snack Wars is cool because it'll be shit like two different actors or two different comedians from two different parts of the world. And it'll be like, say, an American actor and a British actor. And then they'll be comparing like British and American snack foods.
That'd be cool. That'd be funny.
And see like who they think is better. I mean, obviously, like, you know, they're getting Vegemite and shit when they're doing Australians and stuff.
I know that there's this guy, he's an NBA player. He used to be on the Raptors. And he has like his own show where he cooks for people that he like interviews, and he cooks like random ass shit. Because he's like from somewhere in Africa, so he'll like cook like native cuisine from like where he's from. For like other NBA players that are basically there. Like there could be more than just him, more than just NBA, sorry, but like the ones that I've seen were like all NBA players, other than like one episode where he had like 4 pretty big stars from 4 different sports. And it's pretty good, man. I can't remember what the hell it's called though. And for some reason, like I think I'm just high enough. I'm not remembering, but it's Serge Ibaka is the NBA player. And it's interesting, dude, because he had like somebody on and he's like telling them the whole time. He's like, oh yeah, like this is like something that like my grandmother would have made, blah blah blah. And like at the end of it, he's like serving like just something so exotic, to put it nicely. And the people are like don't want to fucking eat it. And like he's had like a couple of like, you know, like guys that are just tattooed everywhere, fucking hard ass, like NBA star dudes, like Allen Iverson kind of vibe. And they're like, I don't even want to eat this. And then they'll like take this little tiny morsel and like chew it and like fucking instantly want to spit it into like a serviette or a napkin. It's funny. I wish I could remember what it's called. I actually enjoy it. Like, I think that, oh man, Hot Ones was like the first show that made me appreciate that there's like a lot of good content on YouTube that like isn't necessarily what I use YouTube for previous
Oh,
to that.
dude, I watch a lot
Yeah,
of
dude.
randomness on YouTube now, bro.
Because like, dude, fucking Hot Ones though, like it went from like nothing to like legit as fuck.
Dude, like it's
Like
on
Maddie
virtual
Matheson,
television.
like I used to see like Maddie Matheson shit like on YouTube all the time, and then like I ended up like finding where I could like watch his actual shows. But like he was doing like a series on YouTube where he was like putting like new episodes out like
He
pretty
still does them.
regularly.
Still
Does
does
he?
them. I
Yeah,
just
'cause he
I
was
just
doing it
watched
in
his
COVID,
latest one.
so
Yeah,
yeah.
and it was actually bomb because he did these like roast beef sliders on like Hawaiian sweet rolls.
Whoa, fuck! I want to watch it now.
Dude, Maddie Matheson's a
Yeah.
fucking legend, bro. I'd love to meet him in real life. I think I'd like we'd have a
He's
good
one
time.
of my dream guests for this show.
Yeah,
for sure.
I feel like we would have such a good time.
I feel like it would be a fucking raucous ripper of a show. For sure.
I don't even know what that means.
A raucous ripper.
It makes me
Like-
think that like I really want to start saving money to like pay him to come on the show.
Right. I actually, it's funny because like in a similar vein, I found this YouTube channel where this dude cooks recipes through history. So like it'll be like something that like people would have eaten during the Depression, and he'll give you like some history on that meal and make the meal and try it. And like it's got a very like early History Channel PBS kind of a documentary vibe, the way that this guy approaches it. Like it's very well produced, and it's dope. There's another one I watched called It's History, and that's exactly what it is. This dude talks about all sorts of cool weird historical stuff, like the island in Chicago in the middle of the city that most people don't even know is there.
There's an island.
Yeah.
in Chicago.
Yeah.
What, on that river?
Yeah. Yep.
Man.
People drive over it every day on the freeway and don't even realize they're driving over an island. It was basically man-made. It's called Goose Island, and it was basically man-made during the industrial era from them carving a secondary channel around the river to allow larger boats to pass, and it created a man-made island. And then they built onto that man-made island.
Wow.
Yeah. And like most people in Chicago drive over it on a regular
What's,
basis, don't even know.
What's the river that runs through Chicago? Do you know?
Oh, I just watched this thing, but I couldn't tell you.
Is this the one
can't-
that they like used to dye green, right?
I
Because isn't the fugitive
think so.
in Chicago?
I have no idea, bro. I don't know anything about waterways.
Yeah.
I just remember it from like a movie, The Fugitive. I'm pretty sure it was in Chicago, and they had like St. Patrick's Day, and they like fucking dye the river green.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident you're right about Chicago being the place that used to dye the river green.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what the name of it was anymore.
Yeah, because I can only imagine how good for the environment that is.
Well, you never know, man. Maybe it was actually something that was just them doing water treatment, helping things out. You know, it's not always negative, although like I'm sure that there's a lot of negatives that come from that.
I mean,
Or it could have just been
allegedly,
just straight up food dye. I have no
yeah,
idea.
so allegedly it was just food grade fucking green food coloring that they would.
Can you
dye in the
imagine how
river.
much they would have needed though? Like
That's what I'm saying, to get the
Dude, it'd
river
be like
green for a
tanker
day.
after
And you're gonna tell me
tanker.
that doesn't affect the water?
I agree. That's
Well,
gonna
I don't think
change
that
water
people would
parameters.
ever eat like fish that they catch in the river through Chicago. Like I'm pretty confident.
But even still,
But waterfowl does.
I'm not justifying it. If it sounds like I am, I'm definitely
waterfowl does though, and then the food chain continues, and who knows what's happening.
Well, it also goes into the lake because Chicago doesn't go to the ocean, so it goes into like Lake Superior, I guess it would be.
Yeah, and you got to figure like that much food coloring's got to be changing pH levels, which then affects the rest of the ecology inside the waterway, and that probably
Way
leads
to go,
summer.
Chicago! It looked cool, but like when you think about all the ramifications, not worth it.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, agreed. If you wanna have a yard, a little pond in your yard and dye it green, have fun. I hope you don't have fish in it.
I need to find something to listen to on my drive here, fellas. I just thought about it. I got a little bit of a trek. I need to find a good podcast.
How long of a
episode.
drive is it?
About 2 hours.
Oh dang! You should just download a couple right now. Maybe even download 4.
Man, I
There
should have
and
saved
back.
that. I should have saved the episode of Rogan Experience with Be Real for that drive, but I listened to it yesterday.
Have
Dude,
you
just download a few Smart List episodes.
have you listened to the latest Huberman Lab?
I haven't.
That one with I'm telling you, that one with Rick Rubin is fucking amazing. There's a whole part where they talk about how pro wrestling is more real than real life.
Ooh, there's a new fight companion out. Oh, let's see
What?
let's see. We've got a couple new episodes of Hawk vs. Wolf. Good old Tony Hawk, Jason Ellis podcast. Oh, is there a new episode of Two Bears? Oh, I've already listened to it.
Yeah, I'm sure you're not gonna have a problem.
Oh,
But
here
I
we
would
go. I'll
try
just
to
listen. I'll
download
just
them
listen
early.
to some more Fly on the Wall. See what other episodes we got on here. Oh, there's a Conan O'Brien episode. Chris Rock. That'd be a good one. Let's see.
Yeah, dude.
Bill Hader. Oh, I might listen to that one. Bill Hader's hilarious.
Yeah, he's pretty funny, man. I like him in like all sorts of movies.
Oh, Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, dude, what was that movie? Was it called Adventureland? Is that the one with like Jesse Eisenberg and
Yeah.
and like Bill Hader's in it and Kristen
think
Wiig,
so,
and like they
yeah.
work at the carnival
Yeah.
or the whatever that is, amusement park.
Oh, John Mulaney. That could be good.
He's fucking funny in that. Has he ever like starred in a movie though, Bill Hader?
I can't say that he has.
He's been in a lot of movies, but I can't think of one that he starred in.
Such is the way of
Dude.
acting.
Chevy Chase, dude.
Yeah, I guess
He's
that's
got
true.
all the.
Oh shit! You know you got to hear the one with Chevy Chase.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I
that
honestly,
he's got
I
some
could just
wild shit
listen
say.
to if I could just have a Dana Carvey, David Spade, just them talking back and forth episode. I'd be down with that too, bro, because they fucking crack me up so hard.
David Spade is, in my opinion, one of the more underrated comedians.
Oh, here we go. Here's a Q&A with D&D, Dana and Dave. There's some good ones, bro.
Oh man, I love it.
David Spade's pretty funny for
I
sure.
know that's what I'm saying. Like, he's super funny, but I feel like he just when people
He's
talk
underrated,
about funny
bro.
comedians, like like people don't think of him like he's super underrated. Like honestly, I love those stupid commercials he's doing for whatever that friggin' outdoor company is.
Do you ever watch the talk show that he had for a little while?
No, I didn't know he had one.
Yeah, he had one on. I forgot what channel it was on, but it was pretty funny, dude.
Like he's brilliant, utterly brilliant. And with brilliance of David Spade, I think it's about time that we call this show to a close. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this week. Yeah, I hope that we have inspired you to try some new things or maybe go find some great comedians to go indulge in for the rest of your week, because I know I'm inspired to go indulge in some more comedy right now. So with all of that, Uncle Chris, go ahead and tell them where to find you.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you guys all. Hopefully everybody was safe, and hopefully everybody has a good week ahead. As for myself, I'll say you guys can check me out on Tuesday nights on KBTV's YouTube channel for Mixing It Up, just a little e-liquid mixing show. You can also check out the three of us on Friday nights on Frames Nickel Vapor's YouTube channel for the Green Room. It's on at the same time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And then lastly, I'll say go check out shedtimepodcast.com. Of course, you can listen to episodes on there. You can find out all the information, the past guests, links, all sorts of cool shit, and our Patreon. Appreciate it. Hey, maybe you guys can contribute to us getting Maddie Matheson on. That's always possible. Never know. So with that, I'll say everybody have a good week. Be safe and live your best life. Frames, take it away.
As always, I want to say huge shout outs to all the Shedheads for all of your guys' continuous support. Make sure you guys go check out the Patreon if you guys want to get the video aspect of the podcast and, catch any deals or anything else we got over there extra for you guys, like the Discord. There's something over there if you guys want to come pop in and chat with us throughout the week. I know Sean and Ern use the shit out of that thing. So if you guys want to pop in there and chat, you can do that. Of course, you can check us out on Fridays, like Chris said, over on my YouTube channel for the Green Room. We do build offs, we do hangouts, we do all kinds of cool stuff over there. So if you want a double dose, check us out on Friday. Other than that, we'll be back here on the Shed every week, dropping new episodes for you guys, as we always do. And as I always do, with all those positive vibes, crisp high fives. Don't forget to tell someone you love them, and a little dab and bag will do ya. Sean.
Oh, yeah. And with that, my friends, thank you all one last time for joining us here in the Shed. It's always a pleasure. Go check us out at shedtimepodcast.com. Again, all sorts of cool stuff over there. Links to get merchandise, links to get new music, old music, and just cool music, because anytime we've had a musical guest on, we've made sure to link you to their music as well. So you definitely want to go check all that out as well. And with that, guys, you know what I'm going to tell you. Don't let the bastards get you down. Be cool. Don't be a dick. And whatever it is that you do, be sure to have some fun, because this is the Shed Time Podcast, and we're going to roll on up and roll on out.
Dynavap, Dynavap, Dynavap. Looking to cut the cord on your dry herb vape? Dynavap. Trying to get the best taste from your herb? Dynavap. Ready to take your sesh to the next level? Then meet Dynavap, the best way to vape your flower or concentrate. Concentrates? That's right, your flower or hash can be vaped using Dynavap. Check out Dynavap.com to learn more. That's Dynavap.com. Lose the ash? Dynavap.
What's going on, Shedheads? It's your boy Frames Janklin. Are you looking to step up your match game or have a raw copper, brass, or stainless mod or RDA that you're absolutely tired of polishing? Then you need to go and hit up my man Ashton of Palmer's Powders. He does some absolutely amazing powder coating work. He offers many different colors and finishes at an absolutely killer price. This man is taking powder coating to a whole new level, and he can make your setup an absolute masterpiece. You can go follow him over on Instagram at Palmer's Powders, and you can go check out pricing on his website, palmerspowders.com. That's palmerspowders.com. And as always, let's just vape on, Shedheads.
I want you to think of your favorite rebuildable right now. Yeah, okay, so you have a layer cake in your hand, and now you're about... Oh, sorry, yeah, that's not everyone's favorite. That's just mine. So think of your favorite rebuildable atomizer. Think about how good of a vape it produces for you. Now, take that and amplify it. And the way that you amplify that is you put in some Breezestone coils. Breezestone coils are handcrafted in Adelaide, Australia. They're made from some of the finest quality wire that you can get. I believe it's wire Buddha. You take those coils, you take them out of that phenomenal packaging that clearly shows how much care that Adam puts on the quality of his coils and the insurance that you get them in good shape. You put them in that favorite RDA, and guess what? You have coils that now sing better than Celine Dion. Go check out Breezestone coils. You can find them on localvape.com and also steelvalleyvapors.com. Solid.
So then it says to Mabel, I says,